Hi everyone and welcome back. Now I did say at the end of the last video that I had something interesting, and you probably think I've been in lockdown too long, maybe. What they're called is ATC, which stands for Artist Trading Cards, and what they are is small little badges or patches, if you like, that you create. And there's no rules. The only rule is they're 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Now, some of the ladies that come here do them. They belong to an art group, and what they've been doing in lockdown is making these and posting them to friends or families or birthdays, things like that. So you can do them on card. If you're into stamps, you can stamp them. But of course we're into stitching, so I decided that I would put my stamp on it and do them as little applique things. Now, as well as being, I suppose, something that you trade, so the idea is if you have a friend who makes them, then you can swap, so that way each of you has a piece of the other person's art. You can post them, you can give them for birthdays in a card. You can do what you like with them. You can make them as key rings. You can put an eyelet in and put a key ring on. You could hang them off the end of your scissors, so you know if you're in a group where other people have the same things, yours have this on. So that's what they're all about, and they're kind of fun, they're quick. As I said, the only rules are, there are no rules except they're 2.5 inches by 3.5. Now I have seen a few people do them as postcard size, and of course you could do that too. But I decided with these, what I do is do them as an applique in the hoop, but also to colour them in rather than filling with stitches. So to use any pens. Now my pens, I have different sets of pens, but the ones I seem to like the most are gel pens, and you can pick them up. Aldi had some recently for like $2 a packet. You can use those. You could go to anywhere that sells pens and buy, seriously, the cheapest ones you can find work fine. They don't bleed on your fabric. And you just colour in, and because they're so small you can have them stitched out ready to go, and they can be any colour you like. So let's show you what they look like first. I guess that's the thing. So this is the size they are. Now here I've used a green fabric, and I've actually put felt on the back. Okay, now they are quite stiff, so you can see they kind of stand alone. So this is my little snail. Now I did this on green fabric, and all the stitching was in black, and then I've just coloured in the detail, and I have added a bit of bling and some pearls and things, but you can kind of add what you like. So if you look at this bag that we did in a previous month, if you wanted to, you could quite easily put that on your back like that, and you've got yourself something a little bit different. Okay, so this again was on a coloured fabric, the heart. So again, whatever's black is what the stitching was, and I've coloured in the details. So it doesn't have to be on any particular colour fabric. You can do whatever you like. This one was on mauve. Here's my perfume bottles on grey. Then I did this one on white and coloured in. Now this one in particular I quite fancy on the bag we've just made. So you could quite easily, when you're making your little pouch, make one of these ATCs and stitch it onto there like that. The other thing is, which we're going to do today, is if you have a nice notebook or something that you want to give as a gift, you could certainly just glue that onto there like that and give that as a gift, make it personal. So then I have some fish, and here I've got 2 layers of fabric. My bottom fabric was a little bit dark because you can't really see my other fish, but I'll do him again in different colours, so it has kind of a wave to it. Then I have the little mushroom house. Now on this one again, I had some fabric that looked like clouds, so I've cut that with a wave and then added some pearls. This one is the same design, but I didn't cut the fabric. This is one colour of fabric, and then I've just coloured in the ground, the green if you like, and a very faint sky. These are my little houses, and again 2 fabrics, so I've got a green on the bottom and the sky on the top. This is what it looks like not coloured in on one fabric. Okay. I did the wattle design that we made some time ago. And again, the black is the stitching. I've added here thanks a bunch, and I've just coloured in the detail. Here's another one that's just been not coloured in yet, but I've put the eyelet up in the corner. And then this is a similar one with flowers where I've added the little keychain. So you can see you could do the same design 3 times and get a different result and end up with something completely different altogether. So the other thing that you could do is you could just take a large piece of fabric, which is what I've done here, and I've laid threads over the top, some organza and some meshy kind of fabric that I had for something, I don't know, wings I think on something, and you can create just an interesting fabric background and then cut that and stitch it. You could also put a design on there if you wanted, or not. You could put words on there. You can use them as name tags if you like to wear a name tag if you're going, if you're in a group, something like that. So as a result of all of that, I needed some templates. So we've made up some templates with their own little stand, and the 2 at the front have the wavy effect. The next 2 also have the wave, so this is what I used on the mushroom house, and I tend to cut both fabrics at the same time using those. Then this one is just called ATC 2.5 by 3.5, so this is the actual finished size of your piece, which means if you were to have just a yummy fabric that you wanted to use, let's say I've got this florally one that I used before, but if there was a particular fabric and you wanted to make sure you were going to actually get the area you wanted, you can use this one to audition. If I just wanted that flower, then you might want a free motion over the top and create something interesting. So this one is the finished size, but this one has a 1/4 inch mark all the way around, and this allows you the fabric size that you need to be able to do this in the hoop. So 2.5 inches by 3.5, and this just adds the 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I could simply just cut out this one flower if that's what I wanted in the design, and then you could add words to it if you wanted. Well, like I said, free motion. You might like to hand embroider. I don't, so I don't do it, but if you did, you might like to do that. You could add beads, whatever you wanted. So we've got this cute little stand. These are going to be available as soon as we can get all the details in place for size and for packaging, postage, and we're just waiting on the boxes. Okay, so I'm going to use these now to show you how to create these little artist trading cards. So what you're going to need is